Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Yasmin and welcome to my beauty space. Today we're going to be doing an everyday makeup look that is something anybody can achieve, and basically it's just a nice natural look with a nude lip. Before we get into the video, let me let you know, let me let you in on a little bit of something. Make sure that you subscribe, make sure that you like, make sure that you comment, let me know what you like, what you don't like, what you want to see, what you don't want to see. Yeah, just join the fam, join the beauty space. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into this video. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to prime your skin. Now, I know that I'm going to be doing my brows first, but I like to prime my face first. And the primer that I'm using today is the Icy Sherbet primer. And this is Pretty Filter. I actually got this in a BoxyCharm, but I love it so much. It's really nice for actually the summer as well. It's got this like cooling sensation on the face. So we're going to put that on our face and we're going to rub that in. Also, sorry, I'm a little bit nervous because this is my first time filming on camera where I'm not like doing someone's makeup. Yeah, so we're just gonna put that all over your face. Also, prime your eyes as well. Even though I'm not going to be doing eyeshadow for this everyday look, I do want to make sure that my eyelids are primed because I'm going to be putting concealer on it. So you want everything to just be smoothed in. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go to brows. And for the brows, I'm going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz. And this is in the color Ebony. I have like pretty dark eyebrow, black. So I'm using the darkest shade for the Anastasia Beverly Hills, but it comes in a variety of different colors. And I'm using the Wiz. They also have the definer, but I feel like the Wiz for me, I can control it better. But it has like a finer tip. So it's easier for me to like work with. As you can see, I don't really need to fill them in as much, but just the few little pockets I like to go ahead and fill in. So before you go in with the foundation, I'm going to be concealing underneath the brow, and this is really just going to carve out the brow and just make it look more defined. So the concealer that I'm using is the Too Faced concealer, and I'm using the color Medium Beige. And I'm just going to carve right underneath the eyebrow, just like so. And I'm going to do that for both brows, and then I'm going to blend it in and we're going to get into foundation. Voila, and we're done. Don't worry, we're going to clean everything up. I know the sides look a little crazy, but we're going to put foundation over it, so it doesn't matter. Also, sorry if I'm talking kind of low, but it is like 7:22 in the morning, and I don't want to wake anybody up, but this was like the best time to film, so yeah. All right, so we're going to go on with foundation, and the foundation that we're going to use is the Nars Radiant Longwear Foundation. I love this foundation. I use this one, I believe I used this one in the last video, but this is really good for the wintertime for me because I feel like in the wintertime I get drier skin and in the summertime it's oilier. But even in the summertime, it holds up really well as long as you prime. So, or not prime, I'm sorry, as long as you set your face with powder. But we'll get into that later. So basically, I'm just gonna put a little bit everywhere, all over my face. I have a couple blemishes that I need to cover up, but I don't typically put that much foundation on my forehead because I don't really need it. I think all over my face is where I need to put more of it, but the leftover from my face, I'll go ahead and spread on my forehead. So I use a beauty blender. I go in and I'm just gonna blend everything all in. Also, the shade that I'm in is Syracuse. So skin-like. Do you see that? And it's full coverage as well, if you're wondering, which is always good. But it's buildable, so if you don't want full coverage, you can always just do like a light coat. So there you go, voila. It literally looks like skin, which I love. Seriously, I've been using this foundation for years and I love it. Even my grandma uses it. She just caught on and she loves it as well. All right, so now we're gonna conceal, and I'm using the same concealer that I carved my eyebrows out with, and that's the Too Faced. And because I just learned this off of TikTok, but apparently in order to lift your eye, you aren't supposed to put all the foundation underneath your eye. You put it basically in the corner, down the bridge of your nose a little, and then right on the side of your eye. It's supposed to lift your face, and I've been doing it for a while and I do feel like it does lift. However, I don't feel like it's that much of a difference, so it's up to you. It's your preference, but try it out, see what you think. I'm gonna just show you what it looks like when you blend it in. As you can see, it definitely did make my eye look like it lifted my face a little. See the difference between this side and this side? So I'm gonna go ahead and do that to the other side. And then we're also going to conceal a little bit on my chin, Cupid's bow, down the bridge of my nose, a little bit on my forehead. And also I wanna get my eyelids. And we're just gonna blend that in. I make sure I get my eyebrows as well, or not my eyebrows, my eyelid, just because if you have any type of veins or redness, it's gonna cover that up. So it's important to do that as well. And it just brightens the eye. I'm not like, I love concealer, but I don't put a lot on because I don't like it to look like too bold. I like more of a natural look. That's just what I typically go for, but it's your preference. If you want a little bit more of a pop, then add more. Now that we're done concealing, we're gonna go ahead and bake. And I'm using the Mercier powder as well today. And it is really important to bake for the oily girls, especially. And especially in the summer, because your makeup, to me, it just falls apart when you're outside for a while and it's really humid. So you need to make sure that you bake and that so everything just kind of stays in place throughout the day. I'm using a beauty blender as well, and make sure your beauty blenders are damp. So just run it under water, squeeze it out, so that it can just blend in your face better. And I always go underneath the eye first because that's where I end up creasing. So I'm gonna go ahead and set underneath both eyes. Then I'm also going to set on top of my eyelids those crease as well, and then I get my brows. And what you're going to do is when you put the powder over your brows, it's going to set it. Voila. So now for the rest of the face, that's the part we're going to bake. I get oily in my T-zone, but I get oily a lot on my chin, my nose, and my smile lines. So those are the parts that I make sure that I bake. And it's going to look really crazy, but trust me, it's going to come out and it's going to look fire. So I'm also just defining the nose a little bit, down the bridge of my nose, And then I got my smile lines. I always go back over my smile lines because that's the oiliest part for me. And so we're gonna let that bake. I don't really bake for that long, but I do let it sit on my face for a little bit. And in the meantime, I'm gonna take this fluffy brush from It Cosmetics, and it's the powder brush. And I'm just going to take some of the powder off the sides of my face and the forehead. I don't usually get that oily, so I don't have to set that part. And I'm going to go in with my Sephora Perfection powder in Golden Almond, I believe. And we're gonna go ahead and we're going to set my face. And this is also gonna add a little bit more coverage, and it's gonna make your makeup look like flawless, just like butter. I feel like I always use that term, but I don't know another term I use. See that? It just blurs everything out, and I love that. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to brush off all my powder. And I use the same brush, and I brush off my chin, down my nose, smile lines. And then what I like to do is I like to go back in with my beauty blender, and I like to just kind of press the powder in a little bit more, just for extra matte perfection. There you go. All right, so now we're gonna set the rest of the face with the matte Sephora Perfection powder. We're gonna get into bronzing, and today I'm gonna use two bronzers. I'm gonna use the Fenty Beauty bronzer, and this is an Island Ting. This is really nice, but I do feel like it's more of like my winter shade. So, you know, in the summertime, I could probably go up a shade. Either way, I really like to use this bronzer, especially for nose contouring. So I'm gonna take this angled brush, and I'm going to contour my nose. For anybody that needs like a how-to on contouring, if you go to my first video, I kind of explain more in depth of how to contour. So please go check that out. So after I do my nose contour, I then take just like a regular like flat brush, and I'm just gonna blend everything in to make sure I don't have any harsh lines. Okay, and now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna contour the cheeks, and I think I'm going to use my Black Radiance True Complexion Contour Palette, and this is in the light to medium. This is really good. You can get this in any drugstore, and it's Black owned as well, so that's always great. So we're gonna go in with the Beige Cosmetics angled brush, and I actually end up using the contour shade. The sculpt shade is a little bit warmer, so I'm gonna go ahead and use the contour shade, and I'm gonna carve out my cheeks. And this is just adding some color and some warmth back to your face. I go in with the sculpt shade since it's a little bit of like a warmer shade, and I go ahead and I just bronze my forehead. Go along the jawline, just to carve out that. This is gonna make everything appear slimmer, which we love. Go ahead and add a little bit more because you can never have enough bronzer, right? So now I'm just gonna clean that up a little bit. And we're going to be using the same powder, Mercier, and I'm just gonna carve the cheekbones out just to define it. I don't know if you can hear my dog snoring. And then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna brush that off using the same powder brush. Perfect. So now we get into the blush. And the blush that I'm gonna be using today is the Nars blush, and this is in the color Torrid. This is like a pink, corally, bubblegum color that I really like. It's everyday, it's perfect for every day. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to apply that with my It Cosmetics angle brush. I'm going to smile just to make it easier for me to know where to apply the blush. Yeah, that looks good. Now, this is not the only blush that I use. I actually use another eyeshadow, which I explained in my last video as well, from like this palette that I got a long time ago from NYX. And I just use any orange color, but I like to use that because I like the mixture of the pink with the orange. I just love like a coral type of tone for blush. So I'm gonna go ahead and add that. You see how that, it just makes everything look so much brighter, and it just screams summer. This is what the palette looks like. It's really old. I don't think that you can get it anymore. It's like a limited edition, like birthday palette, but any orange color will do. I like to use the blush, the Nars blush, and I like to go over my nose. This gives it a very sun-kissed look. Makes you look like you went to the beach, even though you didn't. Before we get into highlighter, we have to set our face. So I'm using the Make It Last Milani setting spray, and this is in charcoal. Love this. It also has a dewy mist for people that have, you know, that want like a dewy look. I personally love this because it makes everything look matte, and it stays, my makeup stays all day. Okay, so now we're gonna get into highlighter, and I'm using the same highlighter I used in my last video, Rodeo Drive by Ofra Cosmetics. This is probably the only highlighter that I use because it's just like the perfect color. It's like a champagne gold color, and it's so bright, and it's just the best. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna apply that to the cheekbone. Oh my gosh, look how pretty that is. I'm also gonna apply a little bit on my cupid's bow, not a lot. I used to go ham back in the day, but I don't anymore. I think it's a little bit too much, too bright, too bold. Also, we are going to highlight the nose. And I like to use a really sharp, small, defined brush. This is from Beige Cosmetics, the number 13. And this really helps you carve right underneath the eyebrow, and this is going to give it an extra pop. You can also use like white eyeshadow, but I think using a highlighter would be better. See how it just like makes it pop? And this is especially perfect for if you don't want to do eyeshadow. It's something really nice and can just kind of take its place. Because on those days where you're going to work or you're just going to run errands, like you don't have to put on a full face. So now that that's done, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna give it one more spray. It's gonna lock everything in. While that's drying, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to use my brow gel, and this is the Anastasia brow gel. It's like the mini version in the same color, Ebony, and this is just going to make my brows stick. Is that the right word for it? Any flyaway hairs, it'll just make it look nice and neat. All right, so now that we are completely done pretty much with the face, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get to lips, and we're gonna get to mascara, and then that's going to literally complete the look. I like to wipe my lips just if there's any extra makeup that got on it. My everyday lip look, I like nudes, but I actually use the Huda Beauty, and this is in the color Anniversary. Really nice. It is so smooth. It has like the best texture ever, and it's comfortable on the lips, and it's still matte. And I think with COVID, with the masks, not many people are wearing, well, I personally don't really wear gloss anymore because it just comes off underneath my mask. So I've been sticking with more matte lipsticks. So I'm going to be lining my lip with the MAC liner, and this is in the color Cork. So I'm going to go ahead and just line my lip. And then we're going to go ahead and with my matte lipstick, Huda Beauty lipstick. It's honestly the perfect nude. And you don't need too much. A little bit goes a long way. All right, so last but not least, we're gonna go in with mascara. And you don't have to do this. Personally, like, I'll switch it up from time to time. But I did want to do lashes today just because I don't have any eyeshadow on, so it'll kind of make my eyes pop a little bit more. We're gonna be using the Huda Beauty Legit lashes, and this is literally legit. I mean, it makes me feel like I'm wearing falsies, and I don't wear them. But it has two sides. It has a volume side, and then it also has a curl and length side. So we're going to use the curl and length side first, and then we're going to go in with the volume side. As you can see, look at the difference between this eye and this eye. It really did extend the lashes. And now we're going to go in with the volume side. Boom. Now you can also do your lower lash, but I don't like to do that. I like the just look of just having just the upper lashes. I don't know why. It's just something that I personally like, but if you don't, you could totally do both lashes. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the second eye. All right, so that completes the everyday look. What do you guys think? This is something that you can do on a regular, anytime you just want to go outside the house. Sorry, that's my cat. To work. I used to do this every day for work. This is my everyday look, especially in the morning times, but at nighttime I would make it a little bit bolder, and I would add some eyeshadow, add maybe like a bold lip, play with it, you know, have fun with it. And yeah, that completes the look. So if you like this look, please comment down below, let me know what you think. Also, like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on your bell notifications so that you get notified every time that I post. So with that being said, I will see you guys next time. Bye.